Hey family, Mr. Frederick coming right back at you. All right, guys. What we are going to talk about today is generational curses. I know I've been talking yesterday. The I touched on the chosen, and it's been a big theme with me this week. So we're getting into if you are chosen, if you are light bearer, earth angel, any of these titles, if they connect with you, apply with you. And I'm just kind of giving more information about it. But we're going to talk about the generational curse part of this role that you will play. So let me just say, first of all, guys, it's not by any coincidence that you will find that you are put in the positions you are in your families. You are to change everything. The way people have done things traditionally, if you see that you have in your family um, if you have a sense of, you see a pattern of addictions, you see a pattern of codependency, a pattern of depression, a pattern of narcissism, patterns of, what else? Patterns of sociopath. Those are psychopath. All of these mental illnesses in the olden days, family, they didn't even categorize these things as that. They would say that these individuals had witchcraft on them, that they had demons in them, and that's just how they described it. They didn't have the science and technology to understand that what these things are birthed from. So, when you're looking at generational curse breakers, those individuals it's a spiritual thing. It's not really as scientific as a lot of people believe. It really is spiritual, okay? It boils down to that. So you have a gift. You have a gift to be able to naturally see through things. You can see through people. You see truth. So what God has done, He has gifted certain individuals that they just know. They know what they know. And you'll see that Satan has a mission to kind of battle that truth or combat that truth, but you will also be faced with combating your own truths. So the more you ascend and combat your own truths, you're able to get even more powerful with seeing other people's truths. And that's why you can't use their truths against them, because that's kind of going against your purpose, because your purpose is to heal. And when people don't want to express their truths, you can't heal. You see what I mean? You can't heal, they can't heal. When they don't express their truths, when you don't express, it's like you're going against your whole mission. So you have to, the more you get into your truth, you could definitely have the ability to direct yourself to do what you need to do with them. But you really only need to be guided by the Spirit. You don't need to actually have anything on your mind as far as I need to do this. You just let the Spirit guide you. So it's a few things you want to look for when a lot of these people know who you are, so they're going to do projection. They're going to do things like that. And you can't fall for it, because it's just them feeling triggered by your presence, your aura. They could tell, they know something about you. Just like you know something about them, they know something about you when they run into you. And they're like, something's about this person. This guy's kind of... And the more spiritual they are, they'll be able to read you. Like, so I've had people, before I even knew any of this, I would have people that could, I'd run into, and they tell me things about myself. They knew. Like, they could just see. And it's just all in how, like, you're not the only one. Different people, we all have different purposes, okay? So their purposes just like yours, as a chosen, as a light bearer. They're doing the same work, okay, within their own structure in the world. And some, it's a different. They're carrying on a role of more karmic, like they're bringing karma. And I'm not really a spiritualist type person. I'm learning more about it, but I do know a lot of things in my unconscious. My unconscious was downloaded since I've been here. Unconscious, I know a lot of things, and so sometimes you'll run into certain things that just trigger your unconscious. So this is information that it's heavenly. You don't even know how you know it. You're like, how do I know what I know? And that's the thing. The more you walk with it, you will understand that. Don't even question it. You just know it. You just look at someone, it's just like someone's sexuality. You could look at people who are trying to hide, say they're gay or something or whatever, and they're trying to hide it. You could just look at them, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I can always tell." No, a lot of people can't because they're using the world. They're using 3 dimensional eyes, and so they're looking at someone look tough and rough and beard and all, and they think that that's masculine and that's a homosexual, and you can see right through that where that person is seeing more surface. So sometimes that's why you can tell people the less spiritual you are, the more you're focused on the 3 dimensional, the surface of the world, how people look. When I say I can read people, I'm not reading through how they physically look. You're seeing through that into their spirit, and that's what triggers and scares people. So the more demonically possessed a person is, it'll be a challenge for them to continue to try to deceive you when you approach them with the truth. They'll be challenged like, no, he can't possibly see what I'm. You know everything. You'll know their story before they win their mouth. Um, and nothing's a coincidence, family. Everything happens for a reason. But when you're a generational curse breaker, you're not only breaking the generational curses of addiction. Um, um, uh, it could be, like I said, it could be addiction. It could be narcissism. Any of these strongholds, shyness. Maybe the family has a fear of putting their face out in the public. Maybe the family has a fear of speaking out. Maybe the family has a fear of, I don't know, accomplishing certain types of, breaking certain barriers of jobs, titles, and things. Maybe they just have some sort of understanding of themselves. They look at themselves in a certain way, whereas you're breaking all of that. Like none of that applies to you. And you'll know it even when you're young. Because if your father or mother would have say, no, you can't do that, or we don't do, you're like, nah, yeah, why not? You could just do whatever you want to. And you know that. So you'll always have that within you. It's just natural. And you'll see people will be scared of it, family. People will be fearful of what they don't understand. So their natural instinct is either try to attack it, destroy it, or run away from it. And that's just the reality of human nature. Um, and you definitely hold people accountable to the truth. And you're like a reflection of individuals, okay? So you're reflecting their truth, and that's what they want to run from. They don't want to, but you aren't sent to harm them. You're just sent to help show them, hey, you need to face this truth so you could grow. And the people will appreciate you more when you leave their presence than when you're there. So while you're in front of them and dealing with them, they know something special about you. They're like, this guy is, they know it, but they can't put their finger on it. Now, some might be a witch or something like that, and they will try to use your energy, okay, and they get a charge off of your energy now doing demonic spells or whatever. You never know what those type of people are doing. But, excuse me, those individuals, they always, they're going to be the hardest nut to crack because they're going to fall on the stake for lies and deception. It's very hard to get them to face the truth. It's interesting. Those have been the hardest ones. But me, I'm kind of ranked pretty high in that instinct because I can be around them. They don't scare me. They don't. I know what they are, and it's just that at times what God will do is He will kind of allow you to see certain things, but it's all a part of your growth and your transformation. It's like going to school. It's all a part of you learning but you can't learn if you're never experiencing it. You can't learn if you're not in the classroom. So when you're in these situations with these people, you'll see them lying for years to themselves about everything off of something that they want so they can get access to you, okay? But you might be doing the same thing in a flip mirroring because you mirror. So you're doing the same thing in a way too, but at the same time, you have a different calling and purpose. And you'll know this in particular because their mask will fall off. And when their mask comes off, you'll be like, oh, and you'll see that demon in them. You'll see that mask that they've been hiding, who they really are, it'll get unveiled to you, the truth. It'll all come out. It'll all come out. And sometimes you'll have like an encounter where that triggers you to have your spiritual awakening. where you can grow and graduate to the next level. Like it could be a divorce, it could be a death in the family, but it's usually a relationship, okay? Something that happens where you're forced to, your ego shreds more of it. But usually, if you are a light bearer, you don't even have a big ego. Like your ego is, you're more spiritual than anything. You might not understand the principles of it, but in your instincts, you're innately spiritual. So the ego always takes a back seat. You know, it's something that you just use to live in the world like we all do. We all have to, this is where we're living. But you are different because you're so tied to that other realm. That other realm is what allows you to see, what allows you to move, what guides you. Get out of here. Go over there. Go over there. You know, leave this person now, leave this person alone. Like that used to happen to me when I was younger. And I didn't understand it. But I never doubted it. When I knew I need to leave somebody alone, I knew I need to leave them alone. And it was nothing but God talking to you. It's your angels guiding you. Like, it's time. You got to leave this person's. Because their demon, it was getting very dangerous to where, you know, something was about to happen. So that's when you get, now these people, they should heal somewhat when you leave them alone. They're either going to heal or destroy themselves. One of the two. So if they don't heal, they'll destroy themselves. But it's not up for you. Your work with them is done. Like you have no more dealings with them. You just got to kind of really, it's out of your mind, out of your spirit at that point. Your time with them was to show them as you learned from them as well. You have different roles because they help catapult you, but at the same time, you're showing them a reflection that they got to work on. And so they are forced with that choice, what to do at that point. It's up to them. What else here? That part of God that you have, that when people are around you and they feel that sense of peace, love, joy, all these senses, it at the same time, they can be very fearful of that too. It could make them fearful to where they don't understand you because you're naturally going to be hard to understand because your qualities are so polarizing. You could be very attaching, very warm, but then you could detach as well. So that scares people, and they can tell that you're being held and led by a higher power. So you're not being held by, oh, well, you have this car, you have this money you're giving me. You're not being imprisoned by the world and the worldly things. And they can tell this because we all have an unconscious. So they can see you better than you. Sometimes they see you before you see you. That's the dichotomy of it. It's really tricky. But yeah, you know, you scare a lot of people, and some of them will just run from you immediately because they feel that spirit. They're like, "Let me get out of here." I don't know what's up with you, dude. And I've had that happen with me with people where they would just, and I've done it to people that had a gift or whatever, and I'm like, and they telling me stuff about myself before I was really awakened, and I'm like, man, let me get this dude scaring me. Let me get away from him. I liked him, you know, he's a cool guy telling me a lot of information, but it can be very scary to people because we like to hold on to what we think we can control and what we know. And that makes us face a lot of things about the outer realm that's just scary. The unknown is scary, but it's very real. So it's nothing to be scared of if you have faced yourself, if you face your shadows, face the things that you don't want to, your regrets, your whatever you have that you want to bury. If you have faced those things, it's not scary. You know, it's just not, because you know that we are here in a layered experience. And you definitely, and your truth, your ability to be so unwavering with the truth and hold people accountable, just like, you know, that scares people, especially if they had an encounter with you, because they know that there's someone here on earth that holds them to a certain standard, and that can definitely trigger them in a lot of ways when they know that, oh wow, this person know, they remember this, they know. That's scary, but they don't need to be scared. You just need to face and be honest. But a lot of people are so worried about what the outside world thinks about their shortcomings, but you're not here to judge them. You know, you don't hate them. You you don't even have that kind of spirit. You're just someone that's walking in truth. Like, hey, be real about what you are, what it is. What, you know, repent. you just walking in that energy. But they don't understand that because they wouldn't be like you are. That's why they don't have the gift that you have. See how God works? You get the gift because of your heart and because of how you are. So you're not judgmental. You're not like a vengeful person. That's why you have that gift. It's the kind of spirit. And that's why God protects you and makes it to where if people harm you, people, they're really in a bad situation. They lie to you, make you cry, make you all these things. If they do that, they are very, you get the point. It's real, family. And because you are here to help transform people, help transform individuals, and tap into their spiritual side. It's no coincidences in this world. Trust me, it's no coincidences. Your abilities that you're given to see through people, that's not a coincidence. You need that. It saved your life several times. So that's all I'm going to say about that, family. I didn't want to go too much into anything. But yes, you are here to transform things, shake up timelines, break from the norm. And, the generation and people aren't the same after they know you. That's one key. After they know you and they've been around you, they'll never be the same again. And one key thing you got to remember, too, about this is that a lot of times what happens is they won't be impacted. I can't emphasize this enough, as much about you until you are out of their presence. When they are alone and they remember your energy and they get to thinking and they feel and they start to remember the things you triggered in them, the truth, the lies they told, the problems they have, how you could see through them. All of their mind will start thinking and they'll be like, oh, they'll start to awaken. And as they awaken, they don't look at you the same as they did when you were around them. Okay, and it's like God kind of hides you while you're around them. He hides you. They know something about you. They know, like, they get good fortune. They know they they feel a certain safety, and then they have a certain animosity towards you at the same time. They're aware of your presence. They know it's powerful, but how they responded to it it will be different after you're out of there. They're like, wow, why did I respond like that? Because you triggered them. So, but they'll analyze all of this. They'll figure out a lot of answers once you're away from them, not while you're in their face. But you're really there to point them into integrating and making their spiritual awareness higher and tapping into their higher self. So they're going to have a love-hate kind of thing with you. But after you're gone, it shouldn't be that bad. They should have a different take. All right, guys. Peace.